That's not what I expected.
Much larger than we ever anticipated. So they do get pretty big.
Oh,
I'll do
okay.
it. Sure, I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. Here a little bit. Throw them out in the yard.
Yep.
Daddy, can you shorten it?
Yeah. So when you come here, the first thing you will see is Willie. Willie is an iguana. Willie is a particularly old iguana. Iguanas usually live about 15 to 20 years. And Willie is 19 right now. He probably will not eat those pellets. But Willie loves to be pet. Feel free to pet him. He'll usually lift his head and close his eyes and go, oh, that feels so good. All the reptiles we're going to show you today, feel free to step over there and pet him. I'll go ahead and point out what they do in the wild and some of their defense mechanisms. So if you look at Willie, there's a couple things for defense that he has. On his tail, he has these dark black bands that help him to blend in with trees. Willie is primarily an arboreal creature, which means he lives in the trees. So his claws are meant to climb and do things of that nature. And he's completely an herbivore. So he likes eating leaves and things of that nature, anything he can get his hands on that's of vegetation. Other things about Willie are he has these spikes along his back.
Daddy!
So if you look and you can feel, it looks like he has these spike things you can't really see because of the stick right now.
Talk to the HVAC guy.
But you see these spikes on his back that are absolutely vicious, and if you touch them, they would do absolutely nothing. Because they're about the consistency of ramen noodles. The only thing those spikes are there for is to make predators think that, oh, this might hurt me if I bite them. And then finally, one of his biggest mechanisms of defense is if you see this right here along his cheek, like this crack in his cheek essentially. And he can actually put a little bit of air in there to even make that appear bigger. But it's so that when he's on the ground, he can turn sideways and blow that up. And if you were to see a reptile in the wild of that consistency, and he's trying to make you think this is an eye, and if it was a reptile that had an eye that large, does anyone have a guess at what it might be? An alligator, exactly. So, while things like the koala mundis in there, or other things of that nature might try and get their hands on them and think that would be a good snack, if that was an alligator, they would want to stay far, far away from it. So that's his idea behind lots of mechanisms of either trying to seem like he is not there, or like you do not want to be anywhere near me. Continuing with reptiles, we have a couple things in here. You guys can hold these. The only thing I will ask is if you hit the hand sanitizer, if you want to hold them, just because we have been in Petty Zoo. I don't want any germs or anything. This first animal right here is Tootsie. Tootsie is a bearded dragon. Does anyone have a guess on the type of habitat Tootsie might live in just by looking at her? Desert, exactly. So Tootsie also has a couple mechanisms of defense. First of all, her color. You can pet her if you'd like, just make sure to go down and not up. If anyone wants to hold her, they're absolutely welcome to. You do? Awesome. Pass it back there, and then we can just pass it around. There you go. Pretty easy. She's not going to go anywhere. So if you look at Tootsie, a couple of things about her are, one, she has these vicious spikes on the side of her body that also do absolutely nothing, other than to make you think that if you were to take a bite of that, it might not be so pleasant with the spikes in the roof of your mouth. She also blends in very well with the desert sand, which makes her easy to hide. And Tootsie is an omnivore, so she does enjoy insects, crickets, things of that nature, but she also has just as easy or good of a time eating leaves, vegetation. So she's a pretty easy keeper. Here we just feed her mostly vegetation. If we have crickets, for the smaller lizards, we'll give her some sometimes, but she has all she needs with veggies. Oh yeah, also Willie loves to walk around.
So we saw these in West Palm Beach, I think.
Absolutely.
Is that what they were? Okay.
So,
They're about the same size too. Run up trees and.
you guys are welcome to walk up and pet him. I'll be right back, man. Well, he's off to the races.
What did you say?
Snake I just saw.
Snake? I don't believe there are any snakes. Oh, well, if there is, we need to be made aware. Not last time I took. Oh, is anyone else on the wall? There you go.
Oh.
And Tootsie hasn't bit in over 2 days. Oh, sorry, Billy. Is he been down here? What? Great job, Billy. You been nice. In here, these are leopard geckos. So leopard geckos, which you'll look at picture of, are probably the most common animal here, just because you're going to see them in pet stores a lot. But also, out of all the things, it's the hardest reptile to take care of because they only eat live. So we have to get crickets, go to PetSmart pretty often for these guys. And then if you look at this, does anyone have a guess as to what its mechanism of defense might be just by looking at it? Partially, so their color is part of it, it helps them blend in. It can change ever so slightly, but not much to make them blend in with their habitat. However, she's bright yellow, and she has a spotted tail. So generally, yes, exactly. So generally in the wild, a pretty good rule of thumb is if you see something that's brightly colored, it's very, very fast. So it doesn't try and run too much, but if it did, even I would have a very hard time catching it. Does anyone have any interest in touching this? You want to hold it?
Yes, be careful.
It's okay.
Yeah, it feels weird, doesn't it?
It's okay. It's
Weird.
just a speak.
You want to just touch it with your finger? Feels weird, right?
It was about fine.
Oh yeah, I would survive. It probably wouldn't like it. It would survive. So the next thing on the agenda is an animal called Baku. When I was little, I used to love these little toys. They're called Bakugans. I don't know if anybody's heard of them. But they ball up, and then when you throw them onto a magnetic card, they spring open like this. So you keep them in balls in little cases, and I used to love these things. And that's why this guy's name is Bakugan. So this is a 3-banded armadillo. They're native to Central and South America. These are not like the armadillos that you'd see on the street or in Texas or anything like that. Those are 9-banded armadillos, which are actually anywhere between 7 and 11 bands. I usually let this guy on the floor to run around. If you can pick him up, you're welcome to. I ask that you keep him very low to the ground, because if he were to fall, it would be very, very bad for him. So when he closes up, his tail comes right alongside his head, like this, which makes him the only armadillo that truly closes into a full ball. The other ones just kind of curl up. You're welcome to feel his shell if anybody wants to. And I'll let him down in a second, because he wants to run around. Yeah. He's an interesting little guy. But then when I let him run around, he can run actually surprisingly fast. But he is a cutie. I'll let him run around. Okay, Tootsie, back to your fake desert.
You can pick him up. You don't have to catch him. If I had no picture.
Yeah, he's ready to run around. So armadillos, they're pretty hard to come by in general, but females are a lot more rare than males are. So usually when armadillos have babies, they almost about 80% of the time have male quadruplets that are all identical, and they're almost always all male. So kind of like calico cats, being all the same gender, it's very hard to come by a female armadillo. So we're looking for another armadillo for him, so that he can have a wife one day, but it's a little uphill. My dad wants to name the female Shaka Khan, so we have Bakugan and Shaka Khan. I don't know what Shaka Khan is. It's a little probably before my time. But he's pretty dead set on that. Now I'll go and grab you guys some more animals. Actually, we can look at this real quick. Now the first thing I'm going to do before I pick this guy up is take everything out of my pockets. Because if he gets it, I will never get it back. Pode diti dia, pожалуйста.
Well, Willie left us a nice surprise.
Whatever it is, it's steel stuff. So you're, no one to bump. Let me take this simple guy. I mean, what it is.
This guy's name is Coda. Coda is a mountain Coatamundi. He is also native to Central and South America. You can also see these guys in Mexico a lot. Now Coda looks like a cuddly little infant that would never hurt a fly. And you would be dead wrong. I've actually sent one of my very good friends to the hospital over Coda being aggressive. So he is the exception to see them, touch them, pet them. We don't let anyone pet him just because he can freak out and he has razor sharp claws and razor sharp teeth. So he is a little bit of a liability. The other thing about Coda is he's very territorial. So he likes anything that he can get his hands on. That's why I took everything out of my pockets. He will search your pockets, and as soon as he finds something, he will grab it, and getting it back from him is a terrible idea, because he will not let you have it back. So Coda is also an arboreal creature. If you look at his feet, he has long, sharp claws, and these are freshly groomed, so those are about as short as those can go. And his feet turn 180 degrees, so he can run up a tree just as fast as he can run down a tree. In the wild, mostly, he's looking for leafy greens, but he will eat just about anything. Any small animals that he can get his hands on, he will. He'll look in trees for bird nests. He's checking my pockets right now. I already took them all out. And then in captivity, Coda can eat just about anything that a human can eat. So pizza, a hamburger patty, pizza rolls. I don't know why I'm only thinking of pizza. But anything that you and I can eat, he loves to eat, including my shoelaces apparently. And then also any sort of jewelry or anything, I probably should have took this ring off, any sort of bracelets or anything, he will take right off of you. We're trying to teach him what the Rolex symbol looks like, but he's a little slow to learn. He's just grabbing everything right now. If you have one that you'd like to donate for teaching purposes, you are more than welcome. It will go straight to the animal and nowhere else. But Coda is generally pretty sweet. We got him when he was about 2 months old, so he used to fit in my hands. He'd ride in the car with me. I'd feed him bottles. That's why he's particularly friendly to me. A lot of people say that he looks like an anteater, which is true, but he is about as far from anteaters as you can be. They're not at all related. But he does have that snout so that he can dig for bugs and things of that nature. He is a cousin of the raccoon, however, if you can see the resemblance there. And just like raccoons, he's very scavenging and curious, so he's always trying to get into certain things to see what he can find. Okay, Coda. Also, he likes to be... Okay, Coda, come here. He also likes to ride on my shoulders. Addison, do you know where my dad went?
I have no idea. You're
And that one because
I'm sorry, Lily.
All right. The next animal we have here is hedgehogs. This little first. You are welcome to hold either of these guys. When you pet them, make sure you pet back. The other way, you have a very different experience. They are very spiky due to all these quills on them. Like a lot of the reptiles we were talking about, how they primarily depended on camouflage or hoping that you would think there's something that they're not. Hedgehogs are very different. They curl up in a ball and say, go ahead and eat me. These things are not fake. They will spike you. And you're absolutely welcome to hold these. The only thing I will tell you is when you hold them, one, keep them very low. It's not good for them to be dropped. And two, when you pick them up, you want to scoop under them. Their bellies are soft. Everything else is not. So I'm going to set these guys right here. You guys can feel free to pet them, pick them up, whatever you like. What? Oh, yeah. The one on the left there is Sonic, and then the one on the right is partially albino. Her name is Snow. So her grandmother was albino, so she carried the trait, but she's not fully albino. She would be much more white. She's more of a tan color. However, she still does have very translucent eyes, which makes her eyes look red. So albino creatures never actually have red eyes. They're so cute. Sorry, yeah, they're very spiky. And then the other thing a lot of people ask me is, do porcupines, or hedgehogs I mean, shoot their quills like porcupines? And I tell them they shoot them exactly like porcupines, because porcupines can't shoot their quills either. So that's kind of just a myth. If you run past a porcupine, they have very barbed ends on their quills. So if I were to run past a porcupine and turn around and see my leg covered in barbs, I would maybe think that the porcupine decided to shoot their quills at me. They did not. Simply the barbs on the end hook into your skin. When you run past them, they stick with you. So the barbs are also not completely voluntary, which means that if they walk past me and stick barbs in me, I'd probably end up just as bad off as a tree would. If you walk past the tree, it would pull them out just as easily. I'll show you guys something real quick.
What is it? Should go.
Very, very, very tiny. This is a porcupine quill from a baby porcupine, that is. So when they're fully grown, their quills will easily be over a foot to a foot and a half long. So not very fun to get stabbed into your leg.
How old are
The hedgehogs, I believe Sonic is about 4, and Snow is right about the same age. She might be a little bit older.
We're always going to give Michael's voice a break for a while. What are we on to?
Sugar glider.
Excellent. Guys, these are some of the sugar gliders here. Which cage is this? Second one. All right, so these guys are sugar gliders. Sugar gliders are marsupials. That means mammals with pouches. Sugar gliders, let it walk on you. Don't grab it by the body. That's how you don't grab it. So if you wanted to hold it, you scoop it like a pancake. Which means like this, scoop it like a pancake, like that. Pancakes rarely scoop themselves, and you can't grab a pancake and flip it or you have a smushed mess. So these guys are sugar gliders, which means they are marsupials, mammals with pouches. When a sugar glider's baby is born, it is the size of a single grain of rice. It stays in its mother's pouch for a number of weeks, and when it comes out, it barely has any hair. About to show you one that's just a little bit older than these.
Getting away from me.
Say what?
I said he was getting away from me.
When they get tired of being with you, they start jumping, or when they're more excited about being with somebody else, and they can jump all the way across this building. I'm told that if they started from the top of a goalpost, they can make the 50-yard line in a single glide. So they call them sugar gliders because they like to eat sweet stuff and they like to glide. The sugar gliders love to eat honey and yogurt drops and nectar, and they eat every kind of fruit and veggies. They also like to eat insects. These guys are native to South America, and they are in no way related to squirrels. They would be closer related to kangaroos than they would to squirrels. I'm going to put these ones away, get out a little tiny one to show you, I think. Here's a really cute one. This one is a mama and a baby and a daddy. So this is the whole family right here. This one is mama. The one crawling up her back is the baby. And they ride around with their mama like that for a while after they first come out of the pouch. Super cute. And the baby will still reach into mama's pouch to nurse, but it rides around with its mama like that. Sometimes it'll bite down on the back of her neck to hang on if she's like moving high speed through the trees and whatever. These guys will stay with their mom for a good bit after they are out of the pouch, and in no time at all, they're just as big as mama is. The last ones that you saw, the whitest one is 5 months old. These guys do make good pets. You just don't want to keep them in the same room where you sleep, because in the night they run on a wheel, and they run a lot. That's super cute when we have a baby one that's still on mama. All right, now I'm going to show you guys the smallest animal on the farm. Does anybody know what this is?
Baby squirrel.
This is a micro squirrel. This is the world's smallest variety of squirrel. This one comes from South Africa. The proper name of this is an African pygmy dormouse or an African pygmy squirrel. It is the world's smallest variety of squirrel. This one is between 2 and 3 years old. It weighs 20 grams. That is just barely more than 1 ounce. See, we need 16 of these guys to make a pound. Here's an interesting thing about a micro squirrel. They don't fall down. So its fingers are so small that it's just holding on to the lines of my skin right there. And when you whoop, it doesn't fall. These guys are the smallest variety of squirrel. There is another kind of micro squirrel that's from Western Africa, and that one is about 50 grams full size. And these guys also make excellent little pets. If you guys put your finger on it, you'll feel that it feels like it's vibrating. That's because these things' heart rates are just crazy high all of the time. Put your finger right on it, and you'll feel the way it feels like it's vibrating. That's because its heart rate is so high. But still, these guys live to be 7 or 8 years old. These guys make, the things that I like about these as pets is they will bond to an individual person. And so when you first get a micro squirrel, you keep it in a bonding pouch for maybe 30 minutes at a time for the first month that you have it. And it will bond to you as an individual. So they, after that, it'll just hang out in your shirt pocket, or if you have a hoodie on, it'll hang in that pocket or in the hood of your hoodie. And then you just have to, not in your pants pocket, because when you sit down, you might squish it. Just in your shirt pocket like this. And these guys live to be about 7 or 8 years old. Other things that I like about them, they live in a 10-gallon glass aquarium that you clean like 3 or 4 times a year. And they eat about $20 of food in a whole year. So these are excellent little pets.
Can you buy those at a pet store?
Not at a pet store. You can buy it either here or you can buy it from sugarglidersrus.com. Sugarglidersrus.com has them always available. They charge between $400 and $500. Here we have them sometimes available and they're $150.
So,
What's next? Have we seen Coda?
yeah.
Alright, have we seen... No? Alright, this guy is not going to come out with us. You can see him in the doorway here. This guy is a baby camel. This guy's name is Prince Ali. Ali is in fact a white camel. He's not a baby that's going to grow up to be a different color. He will be white for all of his life. This guy's birthday is February 4th, so he is 1 day younger than the black baby donkey that you saw up in the petting farm. The donkey's name is Blackjack. This is Prince Ali. So Elvis here is Prince Ali's babysitter. You don't leave a companion animal in there for Prince Ali. He will stand and whine and moan and carry on all day long. And the people who are sleeping right above him probably wouldn't appreciate that. So we keep a companion animal in there for him to stay calm. The companion here, Elvis, is an alpaca, and he is 2 years old. Prince Ali is 4 months old. Is he? February, March, April, May. 3.5 months old. Almost 4. Alright, so this guy is a dromedary camel. Dromedary camels are the one-hump camels. Bactrian camels are the two-hump camels. Mike will explain to you how you're going to know that.
Bactrian camels, if you turn it sideways, it looks like they have a B on their backs. They have 2 humps. Dromedary camels looks like a D on its side. So it has 1 hump. It's pretty easy to remember other than the long names.
Alright, this next guy right here is a Bactrian camel. And this guy is only 7 weeks old. This guy's birthday is April 2nd. And his name is still a matter of discussion. I first said Doughblade, but nobody else liked it. Then I said Deuce, and certain people didn't like it. And the discussions right now are Deuce and Humphrey. But I don't know. A couple people yesterday told me he looks exactly like Sid the Sloth in the face. So I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like much of a name for a camel. But so our big guys that are outside, Ed is as far as anybody knows, he is the biggest dromedary camel east of the Mississippi. And he is 7.5 feet tall, weighs 1,750 pounds. This guy, though, a Bactrian camel, can get all the way up to 8 feet tall. They can weigh 2,200 pounds. This guy is 7 weeks old. And all of these animals you're seeing in here right now, we got a bunch of baby animals inside of the barn. You can sign up on the website, come out and feed most of these a bottle. You can bottle feed the camels, the kangaroos, the goats, sheep, llamas, alpacas. All of these are things signed up on the website for somebody else to be doing an encounter. Those ones aren't full encounters, it's just being animal love. But, so anyway, yeah, this is, producer Humphrey probably. But he is a 7-week-old Bactrian camel. The dromedary camels, there are approximately 5 million wild Bactrian camels in the world right now. There are only 1,000 wild I keep saying it wrong. I'm new to the Bactrian thing. So there are about 5 million wild dromedary camels in the world right now. There are only about 1,000 wild Bactrian camels. The Bactrians tend to be from colder places. These guys are wild, ranging all the way up into Siberia, where it can be 16, 17 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. And a Bactrian camel is fine with that. So he's a pretty cool little dude. He just got here recently. He's one of the newest members of the farm. All right, the next one's here. We call these guys the Cute Squad. These are the guys that are going to come out and run around with us. And you are welcome to pick up and hold the sheep and the goats. They're all on bottles, so they are very unlikely to eat any of that food. And if they did, it might make them sick. So this one is Liza Minnelli. You got to be my instrument to catch that reference. This one is Dodge because he's a ram. The two right there are Salt and Peppa's here. The blonde one there is Blondie. And the one eating her hair is Teeny, because we're just creative like that. Yes, yep. That one is a llama, because she's just getting old enough that you can see the difference between her and an alpaca by the ears, because she's got the banana-shaped ears, not the straight ears. Yeah, you can. We don't, but it's possible. Yep, exactly. I went on my first vacation in 5 years. This past December, I went on the 7 churches Revelation tour in Turkey, and it was wonderful. It was glorious. At the start of the trip, they asked what were we the most excited about in the trip. I'm like, having 7 days off. Everybody else has got some more deeper philosophical reasons. I'm like, I'm gonna have a week off. Woo! And